me. Well, yeah.
We're going live. Podcast.
We're going live.
Say it, first take.
Chills, booze, and brews. Chills, booze, and brews.
We forgot the fucking boobs.
Yeah.
All right. First podcast. Second take. Welcome, everyone, to our first podcast. This is called...
You gotta get a nigga heads up before you just put me on the spot.
Chill.
But this is called Chills, Booze, and Brews.
Chill, Brews, and Brews.
Here to scare your ass.
With Irving Angeles, myself, Carlos Angeles, and Moises Torres. When we're here to introduce yourself. We're here to talk about conspiracies, ghost and alien encounters.
And
Any type of stories that you've seen, we want to hear it.
We want to hear them all.
We're gonna share our stories that we have because we all experience it. Can you all agree?
I
That's
agree.
why we're here.
Oh yeah.
We all seen it. We all seen the aliens. We all seen
Felt it.
We all believe in the conspiracies. and if you seen them, you lived it. We want to hear it. You know. Why are we doing this? Because we want to share these experiences with everyone. I'm pretty sure we're not the only ones that seen this shit. We're not the only ones that believe this shit. We're not alone. And we want to talk about it with you, with whoever we want to share our experiences. Our goal is not to make you believe it. It's just fun, you know. A little spook never hurt anybody, right?
Yeah, that's true. Now.
So today I wanted to make it special. I wanted to talk about stuff that we experienced. Maybe not together, all three of us, but in the same house. And we all know what house I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
My mom's house.
Mama house.
Mama house. Big mama house. We all seen crazy shit. We all heard it. Many times, not just once.
Not just
Ever
once,
since
not
we
just
moved
twice.
in, right?
Since the very first night we were actually sleeping in there, we started hearing noises.
The day we moved.
You know, so very first night.
Not only that, but we're also rating beers. Each episode we're rating a different beer. And tonight's beer is Red Stripe. Brewed in Jamaica. Chosen by Moises. Is that correct?
Yep. That's weird.
So far, what do you think about it? So far, it's a good beer.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if we change our minds as we go. So yeah. Any story that comes to mind when I tell you Mama's house, and after a certain time, and that time was 12:30. Everything happened after 12:30. Am I right?
I'm sorry to correct on that one. It was actually 1:30.
1:30.
1:30.
Fuck, I don't remember this shit. These guys were drunk.
Usually it's
For real.
1:30.
It's usually 1:30 when everyone's already tripping. But that's not the fact.
30.
We saw is that we really did saw it. So we're seeing it.
Yeah. Heard it, seen it.
Felt
Felt
it.
it.
Hey, there you go, man. Two great minds think alike.
But the one that comes to mind to me was that night when you and I were hanging out in the kitchen.
All three of us.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it
we
was
were
all three of us. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. Fucking long ass time ago. We were hanging out in the kitchen and we were just talking, drinking, you know how it goes.
That'd be fun.
That'd be fun. And we stopped watching TV. When we hear a little girl, remember? We heard a little girl laugh.
Yeah.
I cannot make this up. I heard the little girl laugh. I instantly, since we've seen a lot of crazy shit, I instantly turned and looked at you guys. And I know you guys saw the same shit. Heard the same shit.
Yeah, since the first moment I heard it, I instantly looked at Moises, and him and I, we instantly knew.
We all looked at each other.
And we were just, yeah, we definitely hear that. And
we actually had a friend that was watching TV on that living room that we thought at the beginning we can agree that we thought it was her that laughed, but it didn't connect. It didn't sound like her laugh.
Was it a laugh or was it humming? It was humming.
I think it was probably humming.
It was kind of like.
I think it might have been humming.
Yeah, she was a singer, so I thought she was kind of like humming.
And then it got really real when she just jumped right off of that couch and ran straight to us.
Exactly.
Then yeah, that's what I knew.
And her face was just pale white, like we knew, and that's when we all knew that we all heard the same thing. So we weren't. It wasn't all imaginary or in your mind, really.
Yeah.
But at that point, I felt like it's just another thing that happens after 1:30. It didn't really scare the pants off me, because I already knew it. I already expected it to happen. It just freaked me out, the fact that it was that girl's first time seeing that, and the way she reacted to it was crazy. that's what freaked me out.
All heard it.
Yeah.
That's what freaked me out.
And it wasn't even like we heard it when you like barely can hear it. No, it was loud and clear. It wasn't loud, but you can definitely hear it and point it out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Is there a story that comes to mind? It doesn't have to be with us. All three of us experienced it. It could have been yourself, but a story that stands out the most during a night in that house.
Oh man,
in Mama's house.
There's just so many stories I have for you guys, but unfortunately you guys do have to wait for the next episodes. But I will give you a really good story today for it being our first episode.
And if you know us from a long time, you know what we're talking about.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure there was all of our friends that
people experienced it.
Yeah, everybody experienced it. Everybody.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so I don't know. I'd probably have to say I was around 14 to 15 years old. I'd still, of course, definitely living with my parents, and we had a family pet, and his name is Buddy. It's our little poodle. It's a dog. So when it came, it got dark, whatever. It was around 12:43, 12:50 or so, somewhere around that area. And, I was downstairs, we were just hanging out. I had a little snack or so. And then, definitely I watched some TV. By the time I was actually getting to bed, it was around like 1:25, 1:29 or so. Mm-hmm. And I was just relaxing, and until I hear like a little background noise, and it sounded like growling to me. So I actually got up and I walked towards the door and opened it, and actually saw my dog actually looking. It was a 2-story house, by the way, but
backyard, front yard? Backyard or front yard?
The dog's inside.
Oh, inside.
Yeah, the dog's inside the house.
Backyard or the front yard?
Down the stairs, actually. So that's where I'm getting at. Yeah.
Oh, so it was on top of the stairs, looking down.
Oh yeah. So usually, I peeked out my room, and from my room I can clearly see the pathway to the stairs, and I see that my dog just growling, and his whole back of his fur just pointing up, and he's like ready to attack. He's in attack mode. He's just growling, looking downstairs. So I instantly felt cold. I felt afraid, and it's not something you really feel often. So I went ahead and just called him over. He wasn't coming, so I just went ahead and picked him up, and I happened to look downstairs, and it was nothing but pitch black. I could not see anything down there, but apparently my dog can. So I bring him into the room. I close the door. We get in the bed, and I'm just listening, and out of nowhere we do hear these footsteps outside of the doorway, and then we have some cabinets by my door, and they just start like not slamming with force, but like kind of like opening and like. Yeah. And there was no windows open. There was no breeze. I don't believe an AC conditioner can do that. Oh, that's definitely paranormal.
Those doors were way too heavy for the air conditioner to do.
No, yeah, definitely do.
Way too heavy.
Yeah.
So that was definitely paranormal activity.
Yeah.
When I just was so scared. I closed my eyes, fell asleep, and woke up the next morning just thinking about it still.
It's crazy, man.
Dogs sense stuff, and they have night vision.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can't ever go wrong when your dog is going crazy.
Your dog barks, and
Either either someone's breaking in your house or someone's about to spook your ass. You know, so one of those two.
Yeah.
What about you, Mo? What is the story that comes up to mind?
My first story was one night everyone knocked out. Los Angeles and Irvin. I wasn't sleepy at all. We were drinking all day, all night. I wasn't sleeping. I was watching Netflix. I was watching one of those Animal Planets type of thing, and I heard someone come down the stairs, and I thought it was Irvin because he, coming down the stairs, checking up on me or anything, and.
We just came back from partying.
Yeah, pretty much. You guys all knocked out. I wasn't sleepy. I didn't drink that much, but I did drink. And then I heard someone coming down the stairs, and I felt that vibe that someone was staring at me. And it's just that feeling that someone was right.
That cold feeling on your spine,
exactly.
Like you just know someone's looking at you.
Entity, I feel that vibe that someone was next to me. So I looked to my right, pretty much the stairs was to my right, and I thought it was Irvin. And there was no one. But I had that vibe that someone kind of put their elbows towards the sofa, saying hey, where are you watching and stuff like that. Yeah.
Did it ever come to mind that it was maybe you're oh, it's probably one of them?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. After I looked to my right and no one was there, I was like, crap.
Oh man.
Dude, that's. They told me the stories about this house, Mama's house, and that's when I started believing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane, dude. It's always
you gotta
something.
Experience it.
It's always something different with that house. Hopefully I myself is hoping that we can definitely get one of our subscribers into the show and maybe bring them into the house and hopefully maybe even hear something.
Exactly.
That would be definitely a good experience. If not, we will definitely start going to the other locations that we have been to that you will definitely hear about later on in the show. Different locations like churches, asylums. Maybe if we get to our 5th to 10th episode, we'll maybe do something at that boat. What is that called? That big haunted boat. The Queen Mary or so. Maybe we could do something, an episode there. And I know definitely our subscribers would love that. And I think that's something. If they stick around that far, that should be something they deserve.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I definitely remember the shit I went through in the house. There's so many nights spent there. It got to the point where I'm it's just another thing happening.
Yeah.
I saw it, felt it. I mean, like you said, from the first night. But the story that stands out the most was when one of my cousins was with us. We just came back from a party. We were sitting
party every day.
At that age, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
We were both sitting in the living room watching TV after a party. We were pretty buzzed, and we just came back. We brought some food over. We were sitting in the living room, and we just watching TV, minding our own business, not really talking, just watching, eating, and I can feel it. I can feel somebody watching us from the stairs. And then back in my mind, I'm it's part of my mom. You can kind of see in peripheral vision someone there, and I did. I saw someone standing at the door at the top of the stairs, grabbing onto both rails on both sides. And I didn't really put too much interest in it, thinking it was my mom. And I focused on the TV again. And then I turned around, but I kind of looked, kind of turned my vision towards that way, and I saw that it was sitting in the stairs now. And I was like, why is my mom just sitting looking at us, not saying anything, And I was just, I was like, what the hell? Maybe she wants food or something. I don't know, So we're just eating. I just stopped. So maybe I just stop eating and just focus on that. Maybe if I can be maybe she'll say something if I'm not doing anything. So we're just doing there, and after that we hear a little whistle. Like, and the crazy part about it is that my cousin and myself turned to look up the stairs, and there was nobody there. Nobody there. So she instantly turns and looks at me, and then that's when I knew. I was like, oh, she heard it too.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the hell was it? I was like, fucking this party after 1:30.
Yeah.
I looked over at my phone. Sure enough, 1:32 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The craziest part is everything is on the stairs.
Yeah.
Irvin.
It's always
was
close to
always
the
looking
stairs.
down the stairs, and then me, I felt like someone was walking down the stairs and looking at me like waiting.
Pretty much everything happened in
the living room.
either the first or second living room, in the kitchen, in the stairs, but it never went over that.
Yeah.
Or,
No, yeah,
or
definitely.
in your room in Marcus's room.
There's definitely has to do either maybe something with those stairs, like, but you do still hear footsteps around the whole house. Usually when you're upstairs, you'll hear her when you're downstairs, you'll hear her upstairs, and it's just definitely spooky.
Sketchy.
Yeah, it's crazier because you're the only one that's home.
Yeah. But the good thing, we all experience the same thing.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you cannot fake this shit. Like, I felt somebody looking at me. Like, I cannot be like, oh, it was probably just a shadow, because it made a noise. Who made that noise? And we both heard it.
I know
And
it ain't
nobody was there.
shadows.
My mom is not fast. My mom's not that fast. We don't know that. No one is that fast to make that noise where I can see you sitting there. You make that noise and I turn and you're not there. You
Yeah.
can't.
I mean, if you hear a whistle, that's pretty.
It was a whistle.
Pretty,
Yeah.
That's pretty trippy. Yeah.
That's insane.
The fact that we both heard it's what makes it more.
Yeah.
And I'm never gonna forget that.
Yeah.
You know.
I love Mama's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. During the day is really
It's
pleasant.
I mean, you got a party there.
No, yeah. I didn't.
Yeah,
We
good
don't have so many
times.
Despite that, we would always go back.
No matter what.
Despite the fact that everything happened up to 1:30, we were always up in that time. And at one point, it got to the point where like I want to see some shit.
Yeah. So just curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
That's.
But there's definitely more stuff that happened. Like I remember you telling me that you and Eric were chilling in the kitchen or something like that.
Oh man, yeah. That's a story that I'm literally not ever gonna forget, dude. Because I still remember this like it was still last night. And do you guys want to hear it? Yeah? Oh man. Okay, so since the very first night that we moved in, me and my brother Carlos, we actually heard something that night, and it's been not too much constant, but it would be like at least once, twice, 3 times a month or so maybe.
Yeah.
And I ended up making really good friends with one of my neighbors, and we were kids. We were like about 13, 14 around this time, and so he ended up spending the night, and I ended up telling him, I was like, hey man, there's something you might call me crazy or so, but there's usually something that goes on around here at about 1:30 or so. And he's like, no, really? And he's like, yeah, dude, I was completely honest with him. He's like, okay, well, I wanna find out. I wanna see.
Yeah.
I was all right, cool, definitely, So we ended up staying up. It was like still like a hit, like 1:30, 1:35 or so. Then once that we were quiet, we actually heard our front gate and the front door, because we have that like gate and the second
I
door.
remember, yeah.
We heard it just shaking, like someone was out there trying to force it open or just shaking it. Like, it was loud.
Yeah.
So we instantly just run straight to the living room and like peek out the curtains, and surprisingly enough, there was nobody there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. So we were just like, I don't like we were just so confused.
Yeah.
And we just went back to the kitchen. We looked at the time, and sure enough, it was like 1:35, 1:36, dude. So that's how I knew, and that's how he knew himself that I was not. I wasn't playing around or lying to him. And there's other couple noises that we heard. Like, we would be that same night. We sat in the living room. We were watching the TV, and by the living room bar, the sofa. There's this big sliding door that will lead to the backyard, and just very similar to Carlos's story that about the stairs. But I was sitting in the corner of the sectional, and through the corner of my eye, I see like a shadow on the outside of the sliding door, and I noticed it, but I didn't. But then when I decided to pay attention to it and turn around and look at it, it instantly just, like, I saw it move, but it wasn't enough to really clarify it, what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, that definitely got me too. It was insane. I just don't know how a white gate can really shake like that too. You know, it wasn't even that windy as we were to say outside.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think any wind can do that unless you're in a hurricane or a tornado.
The craziest part about it was that even the shit we experienced, I never felt like it wanted to hurt us.
No, that's one thing.
It always wanted to just let us know that he was there. He or she, whatever it was, which we found out what it was after my aunt came over and, old school aunts and grandmas and all that. She does this thing. I can't explain what it is exactly, but she does this thing with magnets and feels
it's like positive energy, magnet, like
yeah, like it's not scary at all or anything. Like I don't feel bad vibes or anything. It's just kind of like you said, like knowing that the presence is there. Something like that.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part about it. Like it never felt like it wanted to harm us or anything like that. And it happened many times, not just a few times. It happened a lot of times. We never really saw what it was. We only just heard it,
Yeah.
And according to our brother, it's still going on today.
Yeah. Yeah, no, really. So he'll get home from school, he'll do what he has to do, his homework or so, and, he'll go upstairs, he'll relax, or so. But he's at this time, this is like around, and it's strange because it's not nighttime. It's not 1:30 in the morning. We're talking about 3 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon.
Right.
And and it's crazy how this is actually escalating, proceeding to this point where it's actually happening at daytime. And yeah, like he'd be laying down, he'll be on his phone watching TV or so, and as he explains it, as he hears like a workman boots just like stomping in the roof back to back. So you hear the 2 thumbs, and then he clarifies that you hear the 3rd thumb after that.
Yeah.
So he says maybe it could be like it sounds like a dude, like a workman with 2 boots and a big hammer, like
It's pretty like
a
working on the roof kind of type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And we have no one working on the roof. The roof is completely fine.
Yeah.
So
This is all at night too. Like you can't see. It's pretty dark. It's all at night, right?
well, this is when he gets home from school after he gets his homework done. This is like around 3 to 3:30, maybe 4.
Always during the daytime.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's starting to escalate, and it usually never really happens during the daytime. But as he clarifies it, it's during the daytime when he's home alone. Mom's at work, and everyone's at work. No one's home, and this is when he's hearing it.
And mom's pretty religious, honestly. She's just religious as shit.
Yeah.
She's really religious, so I don't know what an explanation can be here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's
I mean,
crazy. I never heard that one. It's pretty. It gave me goosebumps right now just thinking about it.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. Just telling it just
Yeah,
gives me
like
goosebumps.
exactly. Like,
That's what's the chills about.
it's not scary goosebumps. It's kind of like, oh man, that's crazy. Like, your little brother experienced it, and now he knows what's going on around
And the
us.
crazy part is, I really wish he was here to tell the story, because if you hear it from him, it's a totally different perspective. The way he explains it, and not just that, but when he was explaining it to us how it happened, he actually broke down in tears and was crying, and like he was actually scared.
Yeah. A little bit.
And that's something that I don't know. It kind of concerns me a little bit. You know, it's not something where usually a 13-year-old tells you.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Plenty of different shit that happened at that house that we're never gonna forget, and we should share them. Right here now.
What was the story that you told me? I remember that you guys first time you moved there, the boxes moved or something.
Yeah, so that one, man.
I love this.
It was like it was within the week that we moved in, and we were putting away boxes as we went, but we stacked all the boxes, and we moved in from an apartment, so we didn't have a lot of furniture. All we did was fill up the second living room, the kitchen stuff, because that's all we had. We had one pair of living room stuff that we moved, and we put it all in the second living room, which was let me see if I can picture
closer
this.
to the front door, towards the street. The second living room will be
as soon as you come
in
in,
the backyard.
as soon as you come into the house, there's one living room, and you keep going straight, and
Past
there's the other.
stairs, you get to the second living room.
This is when you turn right, and that's when you get to the kitchen. So we put everything in the second living room. In the first living room, we put all the boxes that we could. It's just different shit.
Everything we had.
And we were up late because we were in a house. You know, from an apartment to a house is a big deal for a kid.
It's exciting. It's bigger and better.
Yeah, I
could run around and have fun.
I couldn't fall asleep.
Yeah,
honestly,
exactly.
mostly after
It's exciting.
this.
And Irving and I were. I was about 14 at the time. You were what, 11, 12, something like that? Yeah. And
12.
we stood up late. Our parents went to sleep that night, and we stood up. My room was in the downstairs. Yours was upstairs. And we were in the kitchen. We were just talking, eating, whatever. You know what kids
Being
do.
little fatties.
And then we hear somebody like pushing a box. Like it wasn't even kicking with boots or something. It was just pushing
a box. Like like when you drag a box on the floor and you have like the grab or like the little rocks under that, and you just hear it scrape.
Yeah.
Now, we had wooden floor, so you can hear anything sliding.
Yeah.
So we did it. We heard the box or something. It was a box. It sounded like a box. Move from one side of the living room to the other. Quick.
Yeah.
Hit the side of this the other side of the wall. So him and I walk over slowly. When we were kids, we were scared. We walk over and we see one of the box in the pathway of the front door. We know it wasn't there because my dad didn't want the boxes there. He wanted them to the other side of the living room where it wasn't on the way of walking or tripping anybody.
In the walkway.
Yeah. We don't know what it was. We don't know what moved it. We don't know. We know they didn't move it because we were up. We were playing around.
And this was past 1:30.
So this was your guys' first
This
experience.
was our very first encounter, Moe. Like very first encounter.
This is within the week we moved into the house.
Wow. First night.
First night.
We actually moved in the night into the house, moved in, finished, unloaded everything, put it on the first living room, and definitely by after 1:30 or so we heard that box.
And it was instantly him and I ran to the kitchen where there was light, so everything else was fucking pitch black.
Yeah.
At that time it was pitch black. Right?
Yeah, because we didn't have no
it was
lamps.
quiet.
The living room, the very first living room, where the boxes were at, that light was off. Everyone was going to bed. Everyone was in bed actually, except for us too.
We don't know exactly what time it was. We didn't really pay attention to that.
No, we didn't even know.
We weren't even going to school yet. I mean, we moved in, and they were trying to move us into school. But they gave us what, like 2 weeks?
Fairly
1
quickly.
week?
Yeah, it was like about 2.5 weeks.
And then they
So
put us
maybe.
into school because they wanted us to help them set the house up. So we didn't even have school the next day.
It was
We were
awesome.
home.
No one wants to go to school at that age.
But after that, I think we slept in the same room.
Dude, no, definitely. Yeah, we slept in the same room. I was like, yeah, I'm not trying to feel any more of this fear.
At this point, I remember seeing some shit, but it was still pretty new to me. I remember seeing some shit when I was like 4 years old.
Yeah.
And this time I was in Mexico, in the rancho, so it's pretty big. But as soon as I saw that box move from one side of the living room to the other, and I heard it go that way, I was done.
But do you think it followed you from Mexico, or did you think that it's already there? Like, what'd you think?
I couldn't think. I was scared shitless. I honestly can't say what it was.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was too scared. I didn't even remember. I didn't remember talking, or I didn't even remember what the shit that happened in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all pretty new to me at this point. So yeah.
Crazy stuff, man.
Yeah,
Dude, it's something else, man. That's way out of the ordinary.
The thing is, we're not alone.
Yeah, that's the
We're
thing.
not.
That definitely makes me
I
feel
know
a lot
for-
better
yeah,
that
exactly,
knowing that
like,
we all heard something in that house.
Same
So
house.
definitely puts it out there on the clear waters that I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy though, cause like I said, I didn't feel like it was trying to hurt us, but then one morning it was pretty early. It was like 8:30, 9 the latest. I was watching TV. This was years after, after seeing some shit, being in the house. I was watching TV in the living room, and all of a sudden I had the curtains open. My dad liked his glass clean, and we had these giant glass doors on between the second living room and the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And I remembered having them open. I opened them up. It was a beautiful day. The grass was green.
Yeah.
Everything looked good. And I'm watching TV, and all of a sudden I hear a loud bang, bah, on the glass. I look over, and it's a fucking crow that crashed into the glass. A fucking crow, dude. It crashed into the fucking glass, dude. I swear to you, it fucking crashed into the.
That's like that movie stuff, man.
Yeah, it was early in the morning. Why would a crow try to fly into the house? It just makes no fucking sense to me.
I've seen different type of birds, like honey birds or like pigeons or something like that. But crow, usually they don't fly into. From my experience, I don't see crows acting that way. Yeah.
And the crazy part about it is that once one of my aunts came from Mexico, and she does the what is it, the magnet stuff?
Magnets, yeah, was
The positive energy?
something like that. It's positive energy, magnetic, in the name of God. It's. I believe it. I've seen her work it, and it's pretty. It's something different.
Legit. It's pretty.
It's pretty legit,
yeah.
and honestly, it's life changing. Actually, it's
It's pretty paranormal shit. Yeah, that's what it is.
Welcome to the show.
Well, she came over one time, and we would tell my mom this shit, and apparently, and after a while, after not hearing it only from us, hearing from our friends as well, she believed it. She believed what we were seeing, and she believed that there was something in the house. She didn't know what it was. I don't know. I don't remember if she believed that. I don't know if she ever saw anything.
Mom?
Yeah. I don't think she ever saw it.
I don't think so, but maybe.
We'll definitely ask her.
I don't remember too well if she has mentioned it much to me. Honestly, she's not really that kind of person that's just gonna
talk about it.
Yeah,
Talk
she doesn't
about it,
focus on it.
really.
She just thinks it's a noise. And
Yeah,
that's
she
it,
probably just thinks it's
something. Be like, she doesn't relate.
Something explainable, you know.
Yeah.
She's old school, so she believes in just praying and it will go away.
Yeah, go away. Yeah.
Oh well, that definitely works though. You know,
Yeah.
definitely if you feel better with praying, you know, definitely why not go all towards it and you know make yourself feel better. It
Yeah.
definitely
Praying
helps.
always.
Which, you know, we tried it different times, but maybe it didn't work. But because like I said, I didn't feel like it wanted to harm us. It felt different. It felt different. It felt like it just wanted to make its presence. Like it wanted to tell us that it was stuck on the house, and it was looking for help. It was trying to escape, and it couldn't.
It most likely just wanted to find peace. You know, like every other soul that's maybe lost out there.
Yeah.
You know, the best thing you want is peace. You want to rest. You want to find closure.
Yes.
You know, so there was no harm done. There was no scratch marks on our bodies, bruising, or any of that sort. So
None of that Hollywood shit.
It was a bad entity. It wasn't a bad entity.
yeah, definitely. You know, we would definitely be able to tell right away if it was.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, our aunt actually came back from Mexico, and you know she did the magnet stuff, the positive energy, whatever, and she actually confirmed that there was 2 spirits in the house. One was an adult wearing a red shirt, and the other one was a little girl with a dress. That explains
the humming. And
the humming
laugh.
and the laugh.
The little girl laugh. Ooh,
That
that's creepy.
explains the banging and the whistling up in the stairs. Maybe the banging too that you heard on the stair on the
Yeah, the
hallway.
banging and the dog looking down. You know, maybe he just wanted attention, wanted help. You know, who knows? You know, so definitely, if you ever feel something like that or hear anything, you know, if it makes you feel better, or always do it, just light a candle. You know, just light a candle, make you feel better. You know, maybe that helps him, give him light. You know.
And I want to wrap this up in the rating of the beer that we're trying today.
Oh yeah.
Rest
Pretty
right.
good beer.
What
I
do
like
you
it.
guys
It's very
think?
smooth. It's not harsh. It's a good taste.
It's a good taste. It's a really good
Definitely
taste.
a lager.
Yep.
It's a lager beer. So if you like lagers, Red Stripe, from 1 to 5.
I don't know. I'd probably do like a 8.
Yeah.
Maybe it sounds right to me.
For 1 to 5.
Oh,
We're doing 1 to 10.
Well, I thought you said
1
1
to
to
10.
5. I don't know.
1
1
to
to 5 is a little short for this kind of beer,
Yeah,
man.
man. It's
1 to
it's-
10 for any.
It's a
I'd
1
probably
to
say
10.
an 8.
8 or 9. 8 or 9. Yeah, it's really good.
I say an 8 or
8
I
and a
recommend
half.
it.
8.5.
Yeah.
8.5.
8 and a half. Yeah.
That sounds
Yeah,
like
that
good.
sounds good.
It's good. The only reason why I wouldn't give it a 10 is the fucking bottles look a little too small.
I know, right?
It's an 11.2
The
ounce.
beer
I don't know, it just looks a little too small, and it looks like it ends really quick.
Mm.
So I mean, that's
It's a good
my
beer
taste.
though.
It's a great
really
beer.
good beer.
But
Really
definitely,
good.
if you have any ideas for any better of a beer or like to try as a beer, you know, definitely leave it on the comments, you
Yeah.
know, so we can
Yeah, any beer
get
you
to
want
it,
us
and
to
we'll
try
try the
out.
beer you want us to try. Name it, you know. That's what Bet moves there.
I mean, we love any type of beer. We love any type of beer. I mean,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Stouts, anything.
Uh huh.
Big fan of stouts.
All right.
Yeah,
We'll try anything, pretty much. We'll try anything.
We'll try anything.
Anything.
If you guys,
Except rubbing alcohol.
if you guys have any stories you guys want to tell us, we'll have definitely guests. We'll start going to different places where we see shit. We want to hear your stories, and this podcast has come to an end. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I like it.
I like it.
Well, there's more stories coming up.
More
For
stories
sure.
coming up
stories
next
coming up.
episode.
Sure.
We're gonna
This ain't
try to
fair.
upload a new podcast every Friday, and we'll see you guys on the next one, episode 2. Episode 2.
Yeah,
of our
episode
podcast
2, yeah.
with a new beer, new stories.
And a whole lot of chills.
Yeah.